All right. Sorry about that.
Yo, yo.
How's it
Good,
going?
mate. How are you?
Not bad. Just some technical difficulties here.
Yeah, hopefully.
So it gave me a random series of those bot
Yeah.
captchas, and then it asked me to confirm. Yeah, apparently Twitter says for your own safety, it likes to lock you out of your account occasionally.
Yeah.
so get that resolved a little bit later once the team member with the phone number wakes up, so I can get that verification code.
Yeah. That is wild.
Yeah. All right, a few more people getting in. We'll just let it fill up. So, did you do anything for the weekend for Easter?
I actually went up to the river with some families and got flipped around behind a boat and ended up underwater a few times, which was great. So I'm feeling a bit sore now.
Oh, fun. All right.
How about yourself?
So I think some people are finding this. No, not much this weekend. Just kind of stayed in and relaxed.
Yeah, nice.
The COVID situation is going a bit crazy here right now, actually. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is kind of locked down. Can't do too much.
Yeah, we actually moved to where we don't have to wear masks or anything anymore. So we're actually lessening restrictions where I am.
Yeah. Unfortunately, locally here, they're still cracking down.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Hey, one thing that happened this weekend that I don't understand is this Moonbirds movement where it's a 15th floor or something like that.
Yeah. Did you see I think it broke 50,000 Ethereum in volume in the first 24 hours.
It's insane.
It's crazy. Yeah, that one actually caught me totally off guard. I wasn't paying any attention to proof, to be honest. Yeah, I was kind of blown away by that.
Yeah. We've got a few people here.
Yeah, I think we filled up a little bit. So welcome everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. This is just another kind of laid back community space where we can all talk, hang out. You can ask any questions, any comments. Ow, my cat just bit my foot. So we haven't done one of these in a few weeks. We've been doing some AMAs and other things instead. So about time. I'll start with some project updates, kind of what's been going on. So the team has been hiring like crazy, especially on the game side. When it comes to like modelers, concept artists, more Unity developers. Oh man, really cool. Game designer that we just interviewed who seems very interested, who would be a great addition to the team. So hopefully they accept the offer. That would be like big. I'm talking multiple AAA studios they have experience at. But yeah, the team is focusing on expanding, getting all of the right people, more of the right people, so we can continue building this out and make it as good as possible. Along with that, in a way, like it moves the process forward and also kind of sets it back, because these new people need to be onboarded. Sometimes some tweaks need to happen when they come on, but doing well overall. The team has, you might have heard this in one of the last AMAs, but the team has kind of pushed forward the builder tools and the building system. So they've increased the priority of that, and they're trying to get that done, put more focus on it, get it out to you guys a little bit sooner than it otherwise would have. Still shooting for the same alpha date, end of quarter 2. But yeah, that's making some progress. Again, I wish there was something more tangible I could bring to you guys. But a lot of it really is just kind of back end nuts and bolts type stuff. And there's not as much to show for it. If you run around in the little scene, it looks the same, from a user point of view. You don't realize most of the changes are going on behind the scenes, but good progress. I'm trying to get some access and some more stuff to show you any day here. I've actually requested to get personal access to the Unity build, so hopefully I can poke around in there and get you updates a little bit more often. I know another thing they're working on is, since they got the new concept artist and everything, they kind of started over with the museum in that space for that demo museum. And they had the concept artist drawing all of the art from scratch to make it look a little bit nicer. All of our in-house modelers are working on the models and building that out. So it's going to be cool. It's just, taking some time. As far as the marketing side of things, we've got some big plans for the next couple of months. The hope is to start testing any day here, kind of some more paid advertisements, get a feel for what has traction, what doesn't, because so far we've been organic. We haven't done any paid advertising to grow. So we want to start testing that now and searching out and targeting any key KOLs that could help spread the word about Matrix World. And then as this new short-term roadmap comes online, we're hoping to get that hopefully by the end of the month, hiccup. But yeah, hopefully we can get another short-term roadmap by the end of the month or early next month. I've been asking the devs for it. And once that comes online, that's when I would like to scale up these marketing initiatives. My fear right now is if we really push marketing at this present moment, it'll be a little bit more difficult to kind of keep those new people hooked because we're in that building phase, So hopefully we can start really ramping that stuff up next month and just put our foot on the gas and keep going leading up to the alpha and really get some new life in the project. And that's a little bit of where we're at, what's going on. Couldn't get a dev to join us today, unfortunately, but we will have devs coming in regularly to share updates on their progress. So hopefully in one of the next couple of spaces, we can get a dev in again. And as always, for these laid back spaces, you don't have to wait until the end if you want to come up, talk, share anything, ask any questions. So feel free to ask to speak at any point. And then I think, Daniel, you had a couple updates relating to some of the community events going on.
Yeah, I try to plan my week at the start of the week to make sure I've got a few things coming up. We did have a little bit of a fan art competition over the weekend, but after assessing that, the weekend being Easter weekend, I think a lot of people like myself were trying to spend time with family and friends. So we have extended that competition a little bit longer. So if you want to win some flow, then please participate. We've probably got about 5 to 10 entries already, which is amazing. But we definitely want to see some more come through there as well. There will be trivia again this week, and I'm not going to give you any clues as to what it's about. I'm sorry, because I want to make this a little bit harder this week because there's a few people that seem to be really well at finding the answers on pages, so no tips there. But yeah, it's cruising along nicely. I think, as you said, it is a time where it's a little bit quieter, and I think we want to provide these things here, like these events that can, still engage those new people that are coming in, and I think it's also dependent on all of our community, and Golden You lead by example as well. Is about that welcoming sort of attitude, and even someone in Chit Chat yesterday said, you guys are so responsive, and I can't thank Golden enough for how responsive he is, or they are, and what they say as well. So I appreciate everyone who jumps in the chat there, but I think this is the quiet period before we kind of see everything ramp up as well. So I appreciate the patience. It's like when I invested in Decentraland back in 2018, I think it was, I kind of left that because nothing was going on. And so it is the quiet periods. And then I think we'll all be rewarded later on by our patience as well. So it's a big thank you. And I appreciate all the suggestions and stuff like that we are seeing. I know Kai made a suggestion, Kyle, and I suppose I'll put it to you as well. And what's the options of kind of seeing, those major partnerships where they are located in the world? Do you think we'd be able to find an answer like that, or is there kind of, agreements where we don't say who's where or anything like that?
Yeah, it's kind of per partnership, but we will release those as soon as we are able to, right? And as soon as it's cleared. So yeah, nothing I can really do on that front right now. I can pass it to the team, see what they say. Yeah, but I think the space is in a really interesting kind of meta right now. If we talk about the space overall, it's crazy. You've been seeing projects lately, like even like the doodles are getting fudded in their Discord, which just blows my mind. That's S tier. That's blue chip. But even they're getting fudded with people saying, "Oh well, the Bored Apes are this high, and we're still at 15." And I've been seeing this really, really weird trend over the past couple of months where it's like some projects will have really good announcements and it doesn't move the floor at all, but another project just gets picked up by an alpha group with nothing behind it and it goes insane. And I think we've been seeing more and more of that lately where it's like it's just these alpha groups picking up projects, pumping them and dumping them, and a lot of new projects, they get like one good pump and then they just slowly bleed out from there, even if they are releasing good things, building something good, which takes time, right? Once they have a real announcement, an announcement of substance, therefore doesn't even react. I don't know. That's just
it's do you think, and like a lot of people say, volume is the key to success and volume is the key, and I'll tend to disagree with the market at the moment that volume doesn't actually mean success in the long term.
I mean,
it's great.
Yeah, volume's great for royalties, and it's good to give the liquidity to holders, but beyond that, I'm not sure that it's all that important. I don't know. It seems like the space is really focused right now solely on floor price, and I want it to go up and up and up, and I want that to happen right now and happen every day. And that's just kind of not necessarily a realistic expectation in a way. Things that are good will take time to build, and you can't only go up every day all the time. But it's been really interesting. I've been seeing a lot of founders, like project founders, and these aren't like small projects or unheard of projects. Like some major players that are sitting here and they're really like upset or depressed or even put down by the state of the market right now, and a lot of these kind of degen style flippers, to where it's kind of taking the attention away from the projects that are really taking the time to build just don't seem to be getting rewarded. It's just whatever an alpha group picks up on, or whichever project has like a celebrity on their team, and that seems to be about it. So that, I think that was one of the things behind Moonbirds. Of course, I hear it's a great project. They're building towards a lot of great stuff, but still that volume is just ridiculous, right? They have a few like really trusted, really big names behind the project that I think kind of played into that.
I think we see innovation when that comes in. I think that's where stability comes in as well. Like we saw the Ghostly Ghost in their Omni chain, and they were the first that did that, and they're actually holding pretty reasonable with their floor as well. So I think for a project to have a rise up, it does need that innovation or something that keeps that credibility there, holding that floor price nice and steady.
Yeah.
So that's been interesting.
Well, it's really interesting. So to get into the land space, like our own territory, back a little while back, we had NFT Worlds, which, okay, they applied a new model, which is cool. They weren't really using their own tech or anything, but I give them a lot of credit for kind of taking a different approach to the whole idea of the metaverse and giving a world, giving more land. Um, but you can see like when that first went crazy, it went up to like 18 ETH, and now it's sitting in the sevens. That's how quickly people lose interest, you know? And then the last one, we had Arcade Land, which was going again crazy. When really they hadn't announced much of anything. It was all just kind of hype driven, just because they made the Bored Ape Yacht Club minigame, right? And I don't know. In a way, the longer I've been in the space, I'm starting to see these like massive hype cycles. These hype pumps are almost detrimental and bad to projects in some way, because the floor price shoots up. You get a bunch of new entrants at a higher price, and then that volume just isn't sustainable. You know, no project can sustain that volume aside from one or two, like apes maybe. And then inevitably, the floor price is going to come down and correct. And now you have people flooding the project when maybe it was a great project that still had great performance, but they entered at the top, so they're down, so they're unhappy. You know, like NFT Worlds, I think that was a free mint.
Yeah, it was.
You know, but you look at people, they're like, oh, we're down from 18 to 7.5. Like, you guys do something. This is terrible. And they're complaining and kind of ignoring the success because they came in at the peak and their experience of the project has been down only. And then they bring that negative energy into the community, and it kind of throws everything off. You know, I think it's a really, really strange place the space is in right now. A lot different than it was, you know, a year ago even.
Definitely. Hey, all this, I don't want to say the word depressive, but all this seems kind of, you know, not positive. Is there a couple of things you can tell me that we can look forward to for Matrix World in the next month or two? Give me a couple of good things.
Yeah. So, I think looking back at that, I'm actually, you know, I know we're not at all-time highs, but we've been really stable, you know, and I think that says a lot. You know, with how shaky the market has been, we've been holding steady, and I think that shows there's a lot of value. And if you look at the listed count, it's so small. Yeah, we're not trading hands every day, but I think, you know, some of that is we do have a large majority of our holders are just, they're holding, they're not looking to trade. You know what I mean? They're waiting this out. And I think really soon all of that's going to be rewarded. You know, I think Q2 is going to be a game changer. And I think we haven't even hit our pump. You know, some people are saying the hype is dying, the project's slowing. I saw one person say that, I should say, in the Discord, that they fear that, but I have the complete opposite view. I don't even think we've started yet. You know, as we approach this alpha, as we start getting these sneak peeks, that's when this is really going to take off, and that's when everybody who has been holding, you know, since the mint or since they got in, that's when they're really going to be rewarded, in my opinion. Because, you know, seeing the Twitter data, the analytics, like, that's what resonates. Those are the posts that everybody starts to share and that start to go viral, is when people see, you know, what's being built, what's going on. They have something tangible and they see that it's real, and that is, we're so close to that. You know, we just have to hang on just a tiny bit longer to get there. And I think there are a lot of people who are really watching this project, and they're just waiting to see that before they jump in.
And that makes sense.
You know?
Like, a viable product is what everyone wants.
Yeah,
Another thing is, and this is big news for us, we're listed as a virtual world now. So I don't know how long that's been, us trying to get that sorted out. But finally on Opensea, they've acknowledged us as a virtual world. So when people search for virtual worlds, they can actually find us as well. So I'm really happy to see that finally sorted out.
Oh my gosh, that was great. Thank you so much for sticking to that. So yeah, that is a good bit of news. We are the virtual worlds category, which should bring us a little bit more attention, some just organic attention. And you guys, that took like what, about 2 months of messaging them over and over again. We ended up making a couple tickets. My ticket was made even earlier than that, and I just got a reply. I kid you not, I just got a reply late last week, right after we got listed, like, "Oh, sorry, I seem to have missed this ticket."
It's wild, isn't it? Like, I ended up putting like important
Ugh.
and urgent in it, and that seemed to actually get it fast
Yeah.
forwarded a little bit.
Yeah. So that's good. We've seen a little uptick in organic traffic, and again, like the longer I'm in the space, I think that is a very healthy type of growth, a very sustainable type of growth, where you don't have that pump and then the turbo dump that comes right after it that can leave the project even worse off, even though it had that influx of volume. So I think it's slow and steady and healthy. And once we get these, this demo build, once we get more peeks at what's being created here, it's going to be a game changer. Like if you go through and look at the floor thickness, look at the amount listed, looking at this as a trader, which isn't what I like to do with long-term projects, but it's a powder keg, in my opinion. Like the tiniest bit of volume, and it's game over. We're going up. But again, I don't like to focus on that. I don't like to look at these long-term projects as a trader. When I'm in a long-term project, to be honest, I don't even check the floor regularly. I'm more focused on, what are the fundamentals? Is the team hanging around? Are they still working on stuff? And that's what's going on here. So I'm still as bullish as ever. I wish, honestly, I would like to pick up some more land. But yeah, so that's kind of what we got going on. We're still in a great space. The team is getting stronger every day. I think we've hired more than 10 additional people to the game team in the past month. So I this one game designer, I had an interview with him this weekend. Oh man, if he accepts this offer, that would be a really cool addition to the team. Like, I'm talking like multiple big studios. I'll hint at one. Like one studio he worked at in the past was Rockstar. So cool stuff. We're still building, still bullish as ever. And actually the project's getting better every day, in my opinion, as we expand and bring more just very experienced, very talented people onto the team. Yeah, Golden.
How you guys doing? Want to say thanks for keeping us all well-spirited, and the answer is I know this is kind of the slow period, and we appreciate you keeping us energized. So just want to say thank you. You guys are an awesome team, and you guys have been doing a kick-ass job just trying to keep us all excited in the project. Couple questions about some, just some updates, and maybe you could give us some timelines of some stuff. We saw maybe, a couple weeks ago, we saw some avatars and some drawings that were happening in regards to that. There was some discussion about some rigging that may be coming through as well. Just trying to figure out if you guys have some updates on, how that's looking, or if we are any closer to seeing that. And if there's an idea of any other timeline. I guess, I think what I'm hearing from the community is, they're all itching to do something, right? We're all itching to try to be as supportive as possible. And we definitely have to wait for the right tools to be made. But I think we're all just trying to figure out how we can be more involved in the project together, right? And it definitely is at this, balancing point. But just, want to get from your point of view, how far along do you think we are before we may see some avatars, or maybe get some hands on some tools out there to start, playing around?
Yeah. So thank you, as always, for your support. I think at this stage, honestly, Golden, what you are doing is kind of the best thing anyone can do if they want to, show support. And a lot of you in here, I see all of you chatting regularly, actually. But that's the best thing anyone can do for a project, especially our project right now, is to just be active in the community, welcome new people. So when they come in the Discord, checking out the project, they see like, oh, hey, the community is really nice here. They're really helpful. This is a project I want to, look into a little bit more. That's definitely the most helpful thing we can have. And unfortunately, right now, that's about about most of what the user can do in relation to the project as we continue to build. So the team, like the modelers, are still working on the rigging and modeling out all the different little components for this avatar system, but it's going well. It's making progress. They did say hopefully we would see something by now, but I think it might be a couple of weeks. But it is being worked on. I've seen them doing some tweaks, right? Because they get it all modeled based on the concept, and then they're looking at it in the engine lighting, and kind of adjusting it, saying like, okay, maybe that looked a little bit better on the drawing. Let's kind of tweak it a little bit for the model and see how that looks. So I have seen some of the first drafts. Like, they're not just like, making it so you can move it. They're actually doing like the idle animations for when your character is standing there and things like this as well. So hopefully within this next sprint, our team is running on 2-week sprints. So hopefully within this next sprint, within this next 2 weeks, we can start seeing something tangible from that. Like I said, like I asked the team to give me access to the Unity so I can go in the project file and play around and try and get some more, peaks for you guys, because they probably hate me, but I'm always bugging them. Like, just, come on, send me some stuff you guys are working on. Show me some stuff. I don't care if it's a concept. I don't care if it's incomplete. The community doesn't care if it's incomplete. We just want to look in. We just want to see. But so we have multiple offices, right? Based in Vancouver. We have another actual set in China. So I walked into one of them again just the other day, just last week for a meeting, and I swear, like, the team, it has at least doubled in that office in the last month. It's crazy because we've got quite a few artists in that one. So I promise you guys, there's so much progress going on. Builder tools and stuff. So I know they have accelerated that. I don't know, I wouldn't expect to be able to start using those until right up about alpha time. To actually be able to get your hands on there and start building something with them, because that's basically is the alpha, right? But I'm thinking we should start seeing some peaks and seeing some of the concepts. So this new concept artist, we got him kind of right after that funding round. Man, some really cool stuff. Some of the prefab buildings and things like that. Man, they look beautiful. So I've been kind of also trying to beg them, like, give me some of that concept art. Let's show them the prefab buildings. Let's get them excited. So I think we're so close to just having kind of a gold rush of that content. We're just like right on the edge of getting there. And I think that's when things are really going to change. And that's when we have them planned to change, right? From a marketing perspective, like, once we start getting all of that content, that's when I think we can really start to push the marketing side of things and really make this project take off. So I wish I can give a more definite answer, but I would like, my goal or my hope when I talked to the devs and all of that was by, the end of April, start of May, to really start having a lot more content to show you guys. And trust me, like, it's not falling upon deaf ears. I've been, telling the COO, telling the CEO over and over again. And they're like, but we are building, we're doing so much. I'm like, yes, but it's behind the scenes, we need something we can show everybody. So it's in the pipeline. Hopefully soon we can start seeing the peaks so you can get a better idea of what's going on.
And I've also noticed to see, and trust me, I've been defending it as well, or at least talking about it, because I just want to pass on what I'm reading as well. but I have been noticing that, people are even asking for like, what can an incentive be? And some of them obviously are the generals being just like, hey, we want token drops, which it seems like there's some mechanisms that are being definitely discussed in the game on how to bring that to us once the system gets started. Like I was trying to, just reference in the thread just from the last AMA with the dev. But just questions of, is there a way that we could, even think about some kind of priority list? So I think what they're looking for is not even to get involved with other partners, but even to guarantee that as things drop through the system, through Matrix, that, the people who have been holders, who are being part of the system, will be included in that and won't be forgotten. So like kind of more of like, hey, if you own, a piece of land, or you own this, or whatever those criterias are, when the prefabs come out, there's only going to be, let's say, 250 of this house or whatever this is. Giving people tiers of how they can actually participate may move stuff around. The second one too, and I don't know if it's possible, is, trust, poke at the bear, because I know there's only so many things that you can answer. But even figuring out what going back to the code blocks and just kind of, giving a more defined answer, because I feel like if people knew what they'll do, people may start to try to fight more for them. And the goal would be to bring them to a place where, people are, kind of fighting over, over what they own, if that makes sense. And, trust me, I'm definitely a long haul person. I think a lot of people who are part of this project definitely are. But I think what we're looking for is, some way to guarantee that by us investing now, we're getting a little bit of an edge, right? And just like that, I'm just listening to what everyone's saying and kind of just feeding back to you guys.
Definitely. And I just want to say to all of you here, like that's the reason we really want to have these community spaces, of course, to answer any questions, but we want your feedback. We want to hear your suggestions, your ideas, your experience, and be able to learn and improve based on that. Now, of course, we won't forget the landowners. We won't forget these early supporters, and we are going to do everything we can to reward you. Of course, anything related to Matrix World, you guys are first people in mind for getting your hands on that, right? Without a doubt. That's what we want to do. We want to offer that, to show our appreciation. Code blocks, Daniel knows. In the weekly sync, every single week, I think. Every single week, either Daniel or myself bring that up. So we're begging them to give us the details on that. So hopefully soon we'll continue bringing it every week to the table, and as soon as we get ours. Yeah.
Even if it was, one co-block kind of scenario per week, or, the question is how badly do we really need the generators? Is the mint really going to be required? Yeah. And, and I'm not going to say that everyone else isn't playing the same silly game, but, we're just hanging around trying to prepare ourselves for this awesome storm of greatness. And in this process, we're just trying to think smart and, and being prepared. So I think in our heads, we're like, hey, how many of these things should we pick up? And, do I need 3 of these? Or, what will be helpful when we're playing and what won't be helpful? Like, trust me, I even want to start giving them out to the community. But I know they're going to ask me like, hey, what do these do? And I'm trying to prepare myself too, because I've won a couple of them through you guys. And I really want to say you guys have been awesome about offering those to us and allowing us to be, win these items, on a regular basis. And you guys have been very generous. And I'd like to extend that to the community, maybe get them excited as well. So I'm just trying to figure out what we could, whatever we could get to pass that on would be really helpful too.
Yeah, definitely hear you, and we're definitely passing along that message to the devs and the other guys to try and get, they've given us general answers, but we said no, we want like in writing, like specifically, what are these going to do? And we've been begging. Daniel knows, if I forget or if he forgets, the other one always asks.
Yeah. I'll constantly be talking about it. One other exciting thing that people have been asking about as well is the Christmas Blockto giveaway.
Yes. Is there anything we can do to beat up Blockto for you? I mean,
Once again,
I feel like you're not the only person on this. And
So
I was bringing up and I don't mean to be a troll and keep on asking about the same things, but I was even asking about that other, what is it called? Schwep or Schwap or whatever it is. I think we just want more ways for us to be able to trade friendly. And just trying to see, is there something we could do? Do you want us to write to these people? What can we do to I mean, to me, Blockto is your best buddies. Like, I don't understand why, what they're doing. They're going to get themselves in trouble as an exchange just by not being available.
yeah, so a lot of the good things you touched on there. As far as the schmoes swap. So I contacted them that day when you first brought it up, and they asked for all of our information, specifically what they would need to get us included. And I provided all of that. They said thanks. And it's kind of been radio silence since. So I'll follow up on that. Let me make a note right now. Actually, I'll follow up on that.
And the guy from Rift. So I'm just kind of looking at your partner. So I'm not trying to tell you that I know everything, because I don't. But he's the one who actually tailgated me into it. So like I found it because I was on the Rift website. One of your the people who were making those clothes.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who send it to me. And he seems like a really active guy. He's making all these kinds of models. I mean, maybe teaming up and kind of poking together and just be like, hey, who's your contact? I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to tell you aren't doing this. I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to give random suggestions. I poke the bear a lot. I know you guys are all over the places. I mean, you guys are answering questions on Saturdays and Sundays and Mondays. I mean, on weekends, on holidays. I know we ask a lot from you guys. So thank you. That's why I'm trying to give suggestions too, just to kind of help. And my goal is to try to help the community feel supported. And the answer is whatever we can do together, I'd be happy to, help out.
Definitely. And thank you as always for that. Yeah, so I'll follow up with Swap and see kind of what's going on. So, I gave them the information. I figured, okay, I'm gonna just let them do their thing now, and hopefully they'll get back to me in a week or two or when it's ready and say, hey, good to go. But they did receive it. They said they got everything they needed. So I'm imagining it's in the pipeline. But I'll follow up and see how the progress is on that. Yeah, Florence is a really big supporter. I love all the little peaks and things he's been posting with the low poly builds they're testing. We're in regular contact as well. Then as far as Blockto, that's a hairy situation. I wouldn't say there are other projects that are kind of in a similar situation. And any founders have seen kind of a recent announcement of theirs last month, or actually earlier this month it was, that now they're asking founding teams to buy and stake their token to accelerate the listing process. We're talking like pretty much it's not a small amount. It's like $15,000 of their token, and lock it up just to, and it doesn't give you a guarantee. It doesn't say how fast. It just says to accelerate listings.
Interesting. And that's buying Blockto itself. Is that what they're asking?
Yeah, is buying their token. Okay. So kind of how I read into that is that they're just kind of inundated with requests right now. So I'm sure their team's got a lot on their plate, and they're just trying to keep up with that and trying to give people an option to make it move faster. But I think we're not alone in this. They have everything they need from us. They just last week they're like, oh, by the way, we need you to fill out this form, which it's like, okay, well, we kind of told you we needed all this stuff back in December, but so we've gotten everything filled out. They said they're going to get it really rolling this week, and hopefully 1 to 2 more weeks. And
I have no problem joining their Discord and poking at them a couple times if you want me to. I mean, I'm being serious.
That's all right. That's all right. I don't. like the passion, but I don't think it's going to speed up the process. Unfortunately, I think they're saying 1 to 2 weeks, but I'm not gonna say I haven't heard that before. But hopefully, this kind of like speeds up, and this time it's for real because man, between between answering this and seeing, and it's rightfully so, like a lot of people are a little bit upset, like come on, this is taking too long. Like I fully agree, it shouldn't take this long.
I just want to buy
Yeah,
some Santa stuff. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
on the
totally get
opposite
it,
end. Like I don't even
totally
have
get
anything
it.
to sell. I'm like just waiting to buy some. I'm like poking at people like, you want to sell your stuff? And I don't even know what's worth.
I see that.
As you can tell, I'm a troll, and I just would like to have a little bit of everything because I
Yeah,
don't know where everything's going to go yet.
yeah. So I'm really, really hoping that this time, this deadline, this target they gave us comes through, and we can get it within the next week or two. Because man, oh, I've been answering this question almost daily since January now. And I want it to be resolved for all of you guys. And a little
Thank
bit
you.
for
Like I
my
said,
own peace of mind. Not gonna lie. um, but yeah, we're still pushing them. We've actually stepped up our pressure, and we have multiple team members regularly bugging them about it. So
so
hopefully that's yeah.
question is, to my understanding, and I don't know if I'm correct, is once you list on Flow, it lists everywhere, right? So if you were to list it in Rarible, couldn't that work? I mean, couldn't it work? I guess my question is, once it's listed, it shows up on all of the Flow exchanges. Is that correct, or am I incorrect?
Actually, no. Flow is so. This is one thing surprising about Flow. Again, love Flow, love what they're building, love all of the support they've given us. So nothing but appreciation. But it's like ETH. It's like you get a contract and it's like up and uploaded and listed almost instantly. You know what I mean? It's supported in wallets almost instantly. And Flow is, oh man, it's a process. It's a process to get anything listed, to get wallet support. I don't know why it's so difficult, why it takes so much time and work, because I'm not on the, I don't do anything with Cadence Dev, right? But no, and that I think that's also a gap we have in the Flow marketplaces is if you see the marketplaces, they're very, I guess, kind of segmented, or they're just kind of broken apart, where it's like, okay, well, this collection is only on this marketplace and that collection is only on this marketplace. And it's not like ETH, where it's just like I go to OpenSea and everything and anything ETH is there. That no Flow is like only certain collections are only on certain marketplaces, and you have to contact and work with that dev team specifically to get your collection integrated on their marketplace.
Because you had to work with Rarible to get our stuff listed, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's one thing that Flow is kind of needs to figure out. I think the volume and the market is kind of too fractionalized right now. And you don't see like just one place where you can go and find everything that brings all of the buyers, all of the volume together, which I think would be really good for the ecosystem. So yeah, it's a bit different. I don't quite understand why it has to work this way on Flow, or what the reasons are behind it.
Is there a way that we could get like a little corner on the Discord that would show the supported markets, or the like places that you would recommend? Because like I saw some user the other day pick up a mint code for some ridiculous price, and I'm not gonna lie, I was super jealous. I was like, how'd you find it for that price? And I thought they were listed similarly on most marketplaces together, but it seems like they found a place that I had never heard of before. And the other one too that I noticed is, some of the people, when they were trying to buy the stuff from the fabricant, it looked like to me they weren't familiar hands on flow except to use MoonPay. And MoonPay is not 100% US based. Not saying that there are some places that you can use it, but maybe even having some approved swaps. Some places that you guys would feel that are you could put we feel that are safe. There seems to be some ones out there though that would allow us to do something from like an ETH to a flow or something in between. That way, as some of these projects come up, people can feel confident about just kind of trading their money. And trust me, we could all go to either crypto.com or KuCoin or some of these other exchanges, but not everyone is on a million exchanges. And just wondering if, between listing, what markets you guys feel kind of confident behind that we could, start to look at, or places that we could see to buy and sell, as well as maybe give us a little list of maybe approved places that you guys feel confident that swaps seem to be relatively safe at. And thanks a lot for all your security updates. You've been doing an amazing job on that too as well.
Yeah, I like that idea. So we would have to do some research into that. Personally, I play more on ETH. So when I need flow, I just send it out of my Binance. I don't really play with swaps because I've seen like the article Ollie had to write on that, and it was, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a process. And I saw that some users were having regional restrictions and issues with that. So we'll look into that. As far as marketplaces, we try to keep the links to all of our supported marketplaces. Off the top of my head, so the code blocks came from Starly, so I'm sure they're still on Starly. We have Blocked This is Flow, by the way.
Yeah, I had never heard of Starly until like maybe 3 weeks ago in my whole life.
So
Starly and I appreciate it.
Yeah, Starly is actually where the code blocks were launched. So that was the original place that, like, if you wanted to claim them or a FlowFest pack, like, you had to go to Starly to do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so they're available on there. Our land is not available on Starly. It's I guess that's why it doesn't get mentioned as much. It's not a general marketplace. It's like a niche marketplace where they just focus on the card style drops.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I would say Starly, Blocked Rareable, for the time being. And I'll have to look. We'll have to look into swaps and maybe look at putting an article there on how users can get flow. What are the different options they have? Of course, we'll have to limit it because there are a million ways to skin the cat here when it comes to Web3 stuff. But yeah, I think that could be helpful.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. No, thank you so much. I really like this feedback. I think it's really important to hear from the community side of things. I'll follow up with Smoke Swap too. Actually, I think they've been getting quite a bit of attention, but I'll follow up with them and see how the progress is, because that would be a really nice option for people to have where they can swap and trade without having to, risk DMs or do anything like that. But we filled out the form, we sent them all the stuff, so that should be in the works.
Perfect. Thank you for all your time today.
Well, my pleasure. And then, I hope I'm saying this right. Leano, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Sorry about that. But I see your comment in the Discord. Always welcome for the AMAs. Our pleasure. We enjoy doing these. As far as like weekly, bi-weekly, like sneak peeks or updates, that's really what we've been, begging them. Daniel and I have been very vocal in all of the sync meetings, just letting them know we need more content from you guys. Not saying that we don't think you're building, we don't know you're building. Like, everybody knows you're building, but everybody wants to see something tangible. you know.
Yeah, and
So
we don't need to see live renderings. We don't need to see. We just want to see a screenshot. I mean,
yeah,
the
I
answer
think
is, of course, we'd like to see more, but
yeah,
the
yeah,
answer is,
yeah,
we get it, and the answer is, I think, even when you showed us just the quick alpha of showing us some avatars,
yeah.
look how excited we got, and you just
Like,
gave us a couple of drawings, like I think that's we just
yeah,
want to see that there's direction, and we don't need finished product. And it's kind of cool to see the learning process. I mean, it's, I
I
think a lot of these people
same
are
page.
builders here too, so I think everyone's excited to kind of get the feel. They also want to see what a house may look like, because they're going to start to envision, you don't want to build a really
Yeah,
modern futuristic house next to
yeah, man, totally with you. I agree.
help.
Did
No,
Golden
no,
get?
back. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Okay,
Yeah,
there
I
you
was
go.
like said, in regards to like a log
Okay.
cabin, you want to make sure that your vision kind of, mends with everyone else's.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And that's kind of what we've been trying to. Daniel and I have been trying to convince them of. It's like I keep asking them. They're like, "Oh well, it's not quite done yet. It's not. It's like it's okay. People. I've been telling them people love to see the building process. Like that's very interesting to a lot of people. I think it's almost in a way more interesting than seeing the actual final product. And actually, so I know you guys like this is stuff that's on our side that you can't see, more on a company level. But like I wrote about 25-page kind of social media strategy, you know, for quarter two, and one of the big focuses on that when I presented that to the team, the core team, was that we need more content from you guys building for our community, because that's the stuff people want to see. That's what resonates. And this isn't just me like smacking my head and coming up with an idea. This is like digging through all these other metaverse projects, digging through all of our analytics, all of the statistics on the posts we've been doing, and seeing what really resonates with audiences, seeing which projects are really growing in the metaverse space and which ones are lagging behind, despite a strong team and strong fundamentals. And one of the key separators I found there was really content related to what is being built. So I've made it very clear to them how important this is, and I think they're finally starting to really take that to heart. So again, I think we've got a good quarter coming up, um, you know, and I think that stuff should come out of the pipeline, any day here. Um, I'm also trying to steal some of the concept artists' work, because man, this new concept artist is awesome. Like really, really, really good stuff. So I think we'll have a lot of exciting stuff on the way in the very near future. I think starting next month it should get a lot more exciting. And that's the time when we really want to pick up, like, okay, start talking to some like YouTube KOLs and see, will you guys do a video on us? Start looking at, Twitter paid advertisements, and doing things like this in conjunction with the content, so we get that synergy. And so when people come, they don't look at the project and say, okay, not much going on, maybe I'll check it out some other time. They come and they see all of this and they get really interested and they want to take part in it. So yeah, that's about what I have on that. We're working towards it. We really want to deliver something good for all of you guys. We really want to build something cool for all of you, and I think it is going to be awesome once this stuff is out. But it just takes time. That's about that's about all there is to it. It just takes time. And then on the community side of things as well, because that's kind of touching on the marketing, social media. On the community side of things, one of the big goals of this quarter is to really start pushing the outreach and connecting with other communities, maybe doing events together, doing spaces together, doing things like this. So if you have any ideas, if you have any communities you would love us to connect with, as always, like, share that with us.
Golden, I've got to ask the question, how's your brawler going? It's not related to Matrix World, but I'm curious.
No, it's good. I've been having a lot of fun. I mean, and you know, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, the market goes up, market goes down. I'm not a big. You're not going to hear me yelling a lot about market. I've been in the space for a long time. I've been here since like actively pursuing everything in the whole space since 2016. I'm, you know, probably been involved in Bitcoin probably early 2011, 2012. I'm a big computer geek. You know, that's kind of where I come from. I build out huge networks. I do all this other random stuff with my life, and I like things going beep. You know, so to me, I look at stuff as like, what's the mechanics? What are they doing? How are they making stuff happen? You know, and I think they're doing some cool stuff. You know, and I've been trying to, you know, if I try to look like I'm like spreading FUD or trying to, I would say I was shilling. I'm more trying to explain to you what I like about products. I was a good part of my life. I was paid to go out and find other people's products, find out what I like about them, and basically, you know, pass that on to other, you know, companies. So I kind of, a little bit of that comes out on me when I'm around. So I promise you, I never encourage anybody to buy what I'm buying. But, you know, like, you know, if I see stuff that looks like it's making sense, I definitely like to spread it out. You know, they did some cool stuff where they gave out about 150 of these pink tags to the community, and basically they were given out for free. And now everybody's kind of like fighting over these because they give you like priority to do stuff. These pink tags, you know, there's only 150 of them. The community is pretty small, and they keep on getting recycled. And, you know, they promised us, hey, you're going to get at least, you know, a certain amount of tokens every month if you hold one of these. And depending on which one you get, 50 out of the 150 will get something kind of cool. You know, and not everyone even gets it. It's kind of like you're in a lottery system. They're promising us to have whitelists for very exclusive items within their community. That's really cool as well. And they're also going to give us, you know, basically access to things, you know, that are very limited supplies. So like most of these things that I'm talking about, they're even giving out. Some of them even have, you know, 44 of them, and there's going to, out of 150 people who can get them. And if you're not even the first one to draw on that, there's going to be 6 people who don't get them, if that makes sense. Like they're making it very, you know, competitive, I would say. You know, with that saying, these kind of things are cool because something that was free is now, you know, valued at anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for a little sticker that really doesn't do much, but it gives you priority. It's basically just showing you that you're, you know, a true holder, if they want to call it that. You know, there's been some cool stuff. Some of the other mechanisms that I really like. You know, they've been really trying to engage us by having us craft the new items, which is kind of cool. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to shill, and I apologize if it's turning that way, but the answer is I just think there's some cool mechanisms. You know, is the product doing as great as it can always do? No, the price has gone down since day one, so I'm not here to shill. But the answer is I think it has some longevity, and I think the team's pretty cool. But yeah, you know, I had a big buddy who was building a lot of stuff for Flow for a while and ran into some headaches that you're mentioning with just, you know, some of the architecture of Flow. So I'm pretty familiar with some of the hurdles. And that's why I don't think that your guys are, you know, putting up fronts of saying, hey, we're trying to get this done, but we're hitting the wall. You know, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of hoops that everyone has to go through. And once they're gone through, everything goes smooth. And, you know, we really appreciate you guys being good navigators in the space. But yeah, you know, they've jumped everywhere from like, oh, I'm on Flow, now I'm on Wax, now I'm on ETH, now I'm on, you know, I hold myself probably close to 12 to 15 blockchains that I follow regularly on a regular basis, meaning that I like altcoins as well, but I really like chain tokens because I feel like they're like the operating system of the next world. You know, everyone looks at them as tokens. I really look at them as operating systems, and I say stop calling them blockchains and call them operating systems because that's what they're producing. And that's why, to me, something like Matrix World is so exciting to me because it's really a platform for everyone to, you know, take all this great technology and start to merge it together. So, I mean, I have a lot of, you know, passion just for the project, forget all the money aside. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the community, what you guys are doing for the space. And, you know, people don't talk about it enough, but, you know, you guys are kind of the only dogs out there when it comes to metaverses, when it comes to Flow. And I truly think that having the breadth of ETH as well, you know, you kind of get a lot. You know, you see me tag it a little bit here and there about, you know, ETH and you know, Flow really makes everything work great. And the answer is I do. I think there's a little bit of both that's needed. And I think once the whole community is built, I don't think people are really going to care whether it's on Flow, whether it's on ETH. I mean, especially when they can just start using stuff. I think it's going to be really awesome. And like I said, I think we're all just biting our nails, being like, we're little kids. We all want it to happen now, right? like, please show us now. Show us what we got for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, and I never take anything you're saying as shilling, by the way. I think like what you're trying to do is actually share education and help the community. So I appreciate that you're talking about other things as well. And it helps, anyone in the community kind of, learn more about innovation or changes and things that are going on as well. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
That's my goal. Like I said, I'm never encouraging anybody to buy anything that I'm buying. And I have tons of projects that I've been involved in way too long that I don't even mention for obvious reasons, just because they aren't prudent to this project. So like I said, if I see stuff that looks like it connects, I definitely want to bring it up and share it to the community. And like I said, I think that you guys have a great opportunity to start picking up lots of friends in the next couple months, especially with all the opportunities of being on both blockchains or being multi-chain like you are.
I hear you. Cole, I reckon we're at that time, unless there's anything else you want to chuck in.
Yeah, I would agree. So again, all of you guys are really a lot of our core, right? And really, really appreciate you just being here, sharing with us, listening, and waiting out this dev process with us. And trust me, we are working hard. We're relaying everything you say to the team, and we're trying our best to make sure in the long run, all of you are definitely going to be rewarded for your participation, for standing by us. And I think we're getting closer and closer. We're almost through this little dev quiet period, and I'm really excited to see where this goes after. So again, just thank you all for joining us. Please, 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 we always welcome your suggestions, your feedback, your ideas. It helps us, even if we're on the same page. It helps us when we bring these to the team, that they have even that much more weight, that we can say it's not just, Daniel or myself, it's actually the community that feels this way as well. And it can kind of help us, maybe push some things over the edge. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a great evening or a great day, depending on where you're at. We'll be in the Discord. We're getting back to work now. It's a Monday morning for us. So time to start building. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Cheers.